Hey, it's Brandi, and welcome to the final episode of the In This Black Body mini-series. Today I'm joined by Kansas City's finest, Aaron Leapart, also known as Ayel.
Yeah,
So glad to be sitting here with you today. How are you?
and appreciate you having me. I'm all right, just trying to stay busy, you know.
I feel
I'm
it.
day to day, day to day. That's how I stay productive. Just hitting the to do list. Waking up as early as I can. That's all. That's all it is to it.
So before we get any further into the episode, who is Ayel? Let us know.
AL is a Kansas City artist, 26 years old. Um, Born and raised here. Trying to build up the community with what I'm doing, and I say I'm pretty well known.
I would
Just trying to
agree.
get better at what I do though. So that's it.
So, one of my favorite parts of watching your journey has been that you are a completely different person from when we first met. I think we were like 17 or 18. And if you would
Super
have told
young.
me, right, and if you would have told me that you wanted to be a rapper back then, I don't know if I would have believed you. But like you said, you're
Nah,
pretty well known. So, talk to me about what inspired you to start doing music.
initially, like I just needed a new hobby. I was playing basketball. Just kept hitting that wall when I was trying to go from KU and go hoop at Mid America. Was dealing with Kaufman scholarship. Long story, but needed a new hobby. I was tired of being frustrated with that situation. uh, I've always been popular. So when I made my first song, like people just tapped in and they really liked it. And it was like, nah, it'd be cool if like you took it serious. So that's where it came from. It's not the cliche like everybody always been around music, but it's like I found myself expressing a lot of the childhood narrative that I'm working with, and getting over it in that way. It's like I was never really talkative, but once you writing it down and you get to the studio, fell in love with the process and just ain't looked back. So
True. So let's talk about the music a little bit. So earlier this
yeah,
week, you dropped a new song entitled
yeah,
Fireworks. I am
yeah,
so feeling it. So talk to me about how
appreciate
this
it.
song, of course, talk to me about how this song came to be, and how like life events have affected how your music has progressed over time.
Back in the day, well, when I first started rapping, I was telling a lot of my childhood stories. Getting over that part of my journey, or just growing up. And with this project, actually, is where I made the decision. Like, man, you gotta start talking about stuff that's going on right now. Just I felt the frustration building up, and it's like everything that's going on. Like, life still goes on. Like, I couldn't keep telling the stories that I felt comfortable with, or I've grown past. But just getting a lot of current things off my chest. So with fireworks, I'm like, man, I was telling people like them is current events.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
can see it's already gotten so much attention from just fans and people that know
Yeah.
you. So I want to switch gears a little bit here. So as you mentioned, you went to school at KU. So what was it
Mm.
like, coming up on the music scene while also being a student?
It made it easy.
Really?
As far as the music go, it made it super easy. Um, like I was in Lawrence, Kansas. Like they diehard fans for basketball and anything that they believe in. So being a black student up there, it's like, oh, you rap? Like they thought it was the coolest thing in the world. So even my first song was like, I started rapping when I was up there. I was 20 years old, and
A
they treated me like
baby.
I was Jay-Z or something. I was like, this is crazy. My first show ever was lit. Like it did make it easy. But on top of that, like in Lawrence, they got the Granada and they got
Hmm.
Liberty Hall. And then as far as the smaller acts, like they might go to the Bottleneck, that can't fill up a Granada type of a venue. But it's like it was a lot of music going on. So the connections there, always around if I or when I was ready to get to that stage. So it made it easier for sure. And just I guess being away from home, missing what I'm dealing with now in a sense, like, our Kansas City, like it can get pretty ill. So it's just having that peace of mind being away for a minute. made the music a little bit easier to, produce.
So I want to talk about that. So you mentioned different venues in Lawrence that you performed at. So I'm
Hmm.
curious to know, did you ever experience any racism or like racial profiling while you were preparing for a show or during a show? Let me know about that.
They expect us to be like unprofessional, you feel me? So they feel like they can treat us any type of way. Like, and when I say they, I'm talking about these promoters for the concerts. The concert promoters are predominantly white.
Right.
Honestly, like they the ones with the money. They, they're carrying a budget to where they can bring the bigger artists in, and then when you're just a smaller artist on the ticket, it's like, yeah, they expect you to react a certain way, move a certain way, and they'll tell you and your people like, you messing up your chance, like, as easy as they give it to you, like they're like disrespectfully take it away. So it's just a matter of showing people that we can be businessmen too, and women, you feel me? But the only racism that I really experienced when I was at KU was just, it was that initial culture shock, honestly. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
coming out of my dorm room, probably, I want to say probably the second weekend I was there, and I was walking to my car in the back parking lot, and there was a group of like 5 white girls in front of me. It's like I'm on my phone, I'm just walking like I ain't right behind them or anything, but it's some space in between us, and I look up and I just see how they clutching their belongings and
Wow.
everybody turning around. Like, I'm like, wow, like, bro, I stay here. You feel me? I was the only, matter of fact, it was a smaller dorm, and I was the only like full like black African American dude that stayed in there. Male.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that. That really made me realize like what position I was in. So
Yeah. And
yeah,
that actually, I feel like that definitely goes into the the fact that people stereotype Black men a certain way, and
for sure.
especially if you're someone who, is portraying yourself to be a rapper, like people might have even more of a stereotype against you, think that you might, like you were saying, be unprofessional or be a
Hmm.
thug or whatever the language is. And so it's great knowing you personally, because like I know you are a Black man with a platform, and
Yeah.
in the wake of so much racism and social injustice and police brutality, like I know you recently attended a rally in Kansas City, so kind of talk to me and the listeners about what that experience was like.
It was interesting to me because it was actually thrown by people around our age.
Okay.
We had representatives up there, like from the state. You know, uh, Actually, it was Missouri. Like, we were in Missouri. I'm from Kansas, from Wanda, but like the mayor, you know,
Okay.
on the Missouri side, he attended. It was party promoters, like when we just go kick it, like they help put it together, and it was just cool seeing a lot of people that have such an influence on like what we do in the nightlife, and when we want to have fun, like put together something where we could learn a great amount of information. So there's a lot of heavy hitters in there, and they were telling us ways to be effective on the change of everything. And it was, aside from like the looting and how rowdy things were getting, but just like trying to teach us how to move smarter.
I want to shift gears here a little bit. So, various celebrities have been, making music lately against, speaking out against racism, the pandemic, and other happenings in our
Mm,
society. Lil Baby, Beyonce, her, Wale, many others. And
mm.
as a musician, your craft can be healing for both you and your audience. So, what's the message that you're focusing on right now that you want to portray to your fans and to the world? I know you just dropped Fireworks, but what other
Yeah.
things are you like trying to tell your fans and people who love your music?
Um. Well, you already know what we about to do. I sent you that record, but
Right.
I have never been super political. Like, I mean, there's a lot I can learn in all areas of life, but that's just one that I honestly lack in. It's like when it's time to show up, I'm gonna be there and like learn what I can. But it's like I've always been a realist, and trying to control as much as I can with my platform, though. Like, this
Mm-hmm.
is my influence. Like, what am I gonna say with the education that I do have? And I can say that I've lived life here, and I know that some people think we're gonna move unprofessional, and it's like, just be proud of who we are. Um, know that we control all of this culture that's going on, all the style. Um, our voice matters like a lot. We set the tone with what we do, being creative. So I mean, in my music, it's just, continuing to tell my narrative and, honestly, speaking my truths and just making people more comfortable in their skin, I guess, in that way. So I'm like, if people hear what I'm going through and I'm getting all of this attention, you said that fireworks got a lot of traffic. And then somebody, from the inner city for real, like from the town listens to it, it's like, bro, like, like I felt that when you said this, that, and the third. It's like, I feel like I'm speaking for y'all now, like this ain't just for me, like this is all of us. So that's
Yeah.
how I look at it.
Yeah. And honestly, I really love how you just said, like, you weren't someone that was always into politics. And like, I think that we need a
Yeah.
lot more people to say, like, hey, like, this is not something that I normally follow, because right now it seems like a lot of people are just putting out opinions that they know nothing about. And like,
No.
that's not always the right thing to do just because you have a platform. So I really respect the fact that you're like using your platform wisely and like
Yeah.
really thinking about what you want to say before you say it.
Got
And,
to.
that's what makes, that's what I feel like makes you an artist worth listening to, because yeah, you do have something to say, but you're relatable. You know what I mean? Like the things that you're
Yeah.
talking about in your music are things that people are actually going through or have gone through. So,
Mm-hmm.
what are some ways that you have been like trying to connect with your fans, like during this time when you're not necessarily maybe outside all the time because of the pandemic, or how are you like connecting with the fans right now?
When the pandemic had started and everything shut down, it was a whole lot of webinars that were going on, like huge A&Rs, everybody in the industry, different distribution companies, just label execs and things of that nature. And the webinars were probably 5 times a week. So I'm on them 5 times a week. And they were saying that, during this time, you at the crib, like you got to figure out if you a TikTok act, if you somebody who gets on live and you like super entertaining. And it was just like, you got to find what how to keep the ball rolling. And I was hurt, honestly. I'm like, man, when I get all my followers when we out doing live shows.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like every time I have a live performance, I get at least 20. I keep doing my drop. I get people's attention. They're like, oh, I didn't expect them to come like this. Get like 20. So I'm like, what can I do I was like, so clearly they're buying into me or invested into what I'm doing because they're seeing me say it. So that's why I started doing the freestyle videos in the car. Like that's what I was getting at, finding out what it is and that, that's going to make it connect still as if we outside. And that was that. It was like, I'm about to just write some new material, pick some beats that everybody think is hard. That's still kind of like my style. And, sure enough, like it had that same effect, like 30 plus followers, every time I drop a video. So that was, cool to see how that play developed and worked in my favor. But yeah, I did that a couple times. I'm gonna do one more freestyle video and just drop some more music and get ready for this EP. So
All right. Well, so we're about to wrap up here soon, but I do have a few more questions. So I've known that you over time have gotten to open up for some pretty big names like Ray Shrimmer, Playboy Cardi, Lil Uzi, Gucci, and
Cardi,
perform.
that's crazy. Yeah, my fault.
You're good. And perform in front of some pretty large audiences. So, what are some music goals or next steps for Ayel? Obviously, you just said your EP is coming out, but like, what are you hoping to achieve as an artist overall within like maybe, I don't know, the next couple of years or so?
I don't think I can give you a couple years off the top.
Oh, dang. I thought I was going to get an exclusive.
Nah, a couple years off the top is crazy. Like I had to go to the
All right,
whiteboard
this
real
year.
quick. But
All right, maybe
yeah, we
this
can do
next
this year for
year or
sure.
so. Okay.
But currently I'm doing merchandise now. So like with the new, like on the cover art of Fireworks, the 17 Summers, like, that's mine. So uh, just working in the background. You know, we got some clothes manufactured, just starting a brand. So I guess I can say that the next few years, like we just gonna be pushing 17 summers. Like it's gonna be incorporated into the title of my next EP, and you know, it's just gonna show people what we represent. You know, talking about the current events that are going on and less of the reminiscing and you know moving forward with that. But you know, I shot all the content for the brand, for the merch that's about to drop with the EP, and you know it's gonna be a different type of push because it's like we're I'm presenting myself like as an owner now, you know.
Nice. I
So
love that.
yeah, 17 summers is gonna be what we represent. So
I just love to see your growth. Oh, like, yes, I'm
appreciate
just
it.
so proud of you. But
Yeah.
what do you love about being in a Black body?
Oh man, it's lit. Like crazy. Like
I
it's
definitely
lit.
agree.
I know you
Totally
seen
agree.
them posts where they be like, boy, it's dangerous, but it's lit. Like I wouldn't trade this
Yeah.
for nothing. Like I was talking to my cousin Brandon like not too long ago. We talk every day, but I talked to him not too long ago about like how we came up, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, we seen it all. Like probably grew up way too fast, but it's like, bro, I wouldn't change our childhood for nothing. Like as far as like having a big family, like we always have those gatherings. Like you know, we got like 30 cousins out here. The barbecues be lit. Like you know what I'm saying? Music is crazy. Like
They have you
they
performing
want
at
to
the
beat us,
events.
huh?
They have you performing at the family events and stuff.
Yeah, you know they did that. It's like we set the tone for everything. Like our style is everything. Like yeah, I just wouldn't trade it. Wouldn't trade it for anything in the world for sure.
Aaron, as always, it's been a pleasure talking with you. Where can the listeners follow along with you and the music?
Yeah, they can follow me at AYEL_music. And you know, that's on all the socials, but it's just gonna be AYEL on all the streaming services, like whatever you listen to your music on, you know, and go tap into Fireworks. We just dropped that.
Tap
That's
in,
setting the
tap
tone.
in.
That's the first, yeah, tap in. That's the first single for what we about to do with this EP. So yeah.
Hey y'all, thank you again for tuning into the 3-part In This Black Body mini-series. I really tried to demonstrate various Black experiences through historical, political, and cultural standpoints. And while these experiences aren't representative of the entire Black experience, they're just a few that I feel like many of us can relate to. So I sincerely appreciate my guests for allowing me to help share their stories. And this whole process has truly been so rewarding for me. Especially getting to hear you all's feedback and personal stories as well. So for that, thank you so, so much. I hope you'll continue to share your stories because we are all more connected than we may think. A lot of us have gone through similar experiences, and just opening up and sharing those with others definitely can help during this time. So continue to take care of yourselves, and I will talk with you all soon. Sending you love and a sprinkle of bold. Until next time, bye.